Welcome, everyone, to another 5-minute conversation. I am your host, Jason Schemmel, and with me today, I have Beth Kapes, who is a content creator on a mission, wielding her pen to tell stories that make a difference for over 2 decades. As a president of Moving Words into Action, Beth has become a master strategist in content marketing, helping national corporations, nonprofits, and local businesses across various industries find their voice and engage their audiences. Beth, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me, Jason. I'm so excited to see you again. I know we've connected in the past through a variety of conferences, so glad to be talking with you again.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always a pleasure to connect. And so we'll just get right into it here. So you and I obviously have a nice overlapping passion of content marketing and things like that. But then also we just discovered AI as well, correct?
That's right, for sure.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about tell me a bit about your journey into AI. What got you started in there and how are you using it now?
Well, I have to give you a huge shout out to the Marketing Artificial Intelligence Institute that started here in Cleveland by Paul Reitzer and my good friend, Kathy McPhillips, who was the VP of Marketing for Content Marketing Institute. And now she works as VP of Revenue for my Marketing Artificial Intelligence Institute. They got me and started on my journey about 4 years ago. And said, you really should learn more about AI, Beth, and how you can use it with your daily work. I was a little bit hesitant, to be honest, in the beginning. I thought, I don't need this. I mean, who needs AI? This is almost 4 years ago. And I'll tell you, it's been a game changer for me. Now, do I first and foremost believe in the human voice? Absolutely. When I build strategies for large corporations around the country, the first thing I do is spend time talking with their staff, with their clients. Those are the people that tell me the story. I could research and use AI tools all day long, and I will not get the angles that these human voices bring to me. So I think that's where I really make a difference in strategy building, and it really makes it different for the brand. The brand stands out with the human voices, and they're the people who can deliver. Now, with that said, AI, I know a lot of tips and tactics and tricks that I've learned over the last 3 years and continue to build every day. And I'm very involved with understanding how I can use these tools for good, not bad, and supporting my clients in that way.
Yep, very true. And I'm just kind of sitting here chuckling and like, yep, definitely. Because I've seen so many people rely so heavily on like ChatGPT of just all they would put in there was just write me this blog article on this topic and then just copy and paste that. I'm like that. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
What's really important for us, like you and I, Jason, is when we do work with people, and I hire a lot of writers because I can't write everything myself. And I certainly don't want to rely on AI for that because I'm really looking for that human creativity. I think there's one person that's taught me a lot over the years. It's Ann Hanley. And I will be, big shout out to Ann. I'll be at Marketing Profs B2B Forum in Boston next week. I'll learn even more from Ann. But the bottom line is, she'll say you can use AI to a certain extent, but it really is the human creativity that's going to make a difference for your brand. And I do have writers I've hired who I can tell they're using AI because I know how to detect it. And I can come back and say, no, I want you to use your skills and your creativity. That's what I want. That's what we need. And that's why I'm glad also to be aware of AI and its purpose and to detect it.
Right. Because I mean, if a lot of people are using it, you start picking up on things like it uses certain words and phrases over and over again, especially on how you craft your prompts, right?
Yeah, for sure. So prompts are, you have to be skilled in the prompt. It's similar to even if you're doing a Google search. I mean, you have to understand, at the end of the day, if you're going to do a good prompt, you have to understand the industry, right? It's even if you're searching through Google, you have to understand the industry first. You have to be well-versed in your topic to prompt AI correctly, and that will give you the best results. So you just can't, everyone thinks it's going to give this awesome, feedback immediately just because you typed in a few words. No, you have to understand your industry, what you're talking about, what the brand is about, and then use that information to create a perfect prompt. And I'm sure you've heard this from many others, but your prompt can never be short. It should always be long. I mean, add more details. And again, that goes back to understanding the industry. If you understand the industry, you can build out that prompt, and that's your ideation that can occur from it. I mean, that's been huge for me. So because I'm under a lot of deadlines like we all are, it's nice to be able to go in and build these prompts. So I I am a huge user of Perplexity. I have a professional subscription. And I love Perplexity because it does have sourcing. Now, no AI tool is perfect, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, oh gosh, use just Perplexity. At the end of the day, Perplexity for me, because of its sourcing, is a reliable, piece of a tool I can use every day. But again, prompting it is key, like anything else.
Oh, 100%. And I don't know if you heard me, but I'm just like, yes, Perplexity. That's my go-to. Absolute go-to. I was paying for ChatGPT earlier this year, spent 10 minutes on Perplexity when I first heard about it, saw the capabilities of the sourcing and everything, and went, this is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, I think too, we can also dive a little bit into, I'm not going to say the word delve because it uses delve too much. Any AI tool says we're going to delve into it. So I'm not going to do that, Jason. We're not delving into it today. We're going to dive. But when I can dive into even prompting, for instance, I have a technology expense management brand that I'm working with here in Cleveland. They're national through Canada. And I'm always looking at data, right? And I know Andy Cresadina is huge on this. I've spoken with him about it. But I want to know data in terms of my search, how I'm surfacing on Google, but more importantly now how I'm surfacing on AI. So I can see through Perplexity with my particular prompts, and I'm prompting just the general industry. I can see where I'm ranking that particular brand with Perplexity because it can bring up the source. I'm like, oh, look at that. We're like number 3. And that's before I even knew. I didn't put any prompts in that would prompt or bring out the name of the company. I almost said it. But yeah, so I can see too, like I can see it on, where we can go to Google and find analytics through G4. Same thing with AI. If you really get to know the tool, and again, Perplexity, I use it a lot. I can go in and I can tell how we're ranking on search through AI, which is really, I think, it gives you another comparison to what's actually happening out there. And people we know are using AI more for search than they are Google right now. Now, I know it changes every day, but currently most people are using it.
Just like social media algorithms, as soon as you figure it out, they got to make a change. They can't leave. Right. They can't make it easy for us. They just can't.
Right. No, I'm learning every day. So, I mean, when I was on another, talking with someone else on a webinar, they're like, what about this, Beth? And I'm like, well, it changes every day. This is what I know today. It could change tomorrow.
Right.
But it's okay. We're learning.
Exactly.
But I can't express enough that people should really understand AI is not going away. Don't be afraid of it. Try to learn. I mean, no one's a master right now. I don't care how long they've been in doing it. I know a lot of great people, and you do too, that we know together who are very, very talented and very advanced with AI, but they'll admit even that it changes every day. So you really have to know that everyone's kind of at a starting point right now. Don't be afraid to start.
Right. And I love how you called out that AI is not perfect, because it definitely is not. And I try and tell people that too. It's like, it's almost like that phrase, like trust but verify. Even if something like Perplexity is sourcing the stuff for you, still make sure that the information it's giving you is accurate.
Well, that's the cool part too. So if Perplexity provides a source through your great prompt that you're gonna really craft, and you get those sources. What I love about it is I can go to that source and see, is it relevant? Like you just mentioned, B, is it timely? Or was it from like 5 years ago? I don't even care about that one, right? Yep. So I can kind of sparse those out and go, okay, this looks good, and then that helps me build on more of a search and more angles as to how I'm writing about the whatever content topic I'm writing on that day. And I love it. It just generates ideas. And I think a lot of people in my position anyway, as a solopreneur, with this company from home, you kind of get siloed. Sometimes you don't have that interaction. So that's where you need, it's like another person sitting across the desk from you, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. So when it's used well, yes, it's just like having another person in front of you. It's almost like your own personal assistant. But again, like you mentioned, it all comes down to the context and the detail and the depth of the detail that you give it. So unfortunately, we're at time here, so I just wanted to quick recap that. But Beth, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure catching up with you and talking about this wonderful thing that's coming into business.
Okay, great. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So everyone, quick, check out Beth Kapes on LinkedIn, on her on her business, and don't be afraid to check out AI. Thank you, everyone.